next I want to introduce someone who's probably one of the foundations of the SCG, and if anyone's got any trouble, or if anyone's got a question that they want answered, it's always this person who we turn to. I certainly do, and many others do behind me as well. She's also one of the most fearsome defenders of her community, her class, and where she comes from. So a great pleasure to introduce Ribeiro-Addy.
Thank you, comrades. Thank you, Ian. And I'm always loved the SCG rally at the end of conference. It is the most uplifting thing. And I can tell you, because we have to spend so much time in Parliament with that 80-seat Tory majority, or within our PLP, where some people clearly do not appreciate us, when we come here and we see all of you, it is the most amazing thing. So thank you so much. Now, we've seen the biggest fall in living standards on record, a mini budget that benefited only Tory donors and hedge funds, and what we have to do is be bold in our response. We have to have policies that improve people's lives, not just tinker around the edges. And these policies need to come from you, our Labour movement, our Labour Party. We are a democratic socialist party. That means that conference that this event is organised around should be what we organise our policies around. You know what is right, and we should be leading with that. We need to go after the 70 billion in tax cuts for big businesses and not for average pay. And windfall taxes shouldn't just be for 6 months. They should be for as long as the windfall is. And they shouldn't be forever, because ultimately it's not just rail and mail we need to bring back into public ownership, it's all of our public utility services. Now, every single person, everyone who's oppressed in society should be supporting the strikes. We have to understand that when trade unions win, we all win. Trying to separate us out from them is absolutely wrong. They are fighting for every single one of us. And I cannot speak for Tory MPs, but I can speak for Labour MPs when I say a Labour MP's place is on the picket line, right next to the workers, whenever and wherever they need us. And yes, we need to win the next general election, but we're not going to win it by shafting our members. We're not going to win it by alienating trade unions, and we're certainly not going to do it by clearing out our socialist MPs. So solidarity with Jeremy Corbyn. They need to restore the whip. Solidarity with Sam Tarry, Ian Byrne and Afsana Begum, who have faced some of the most ridiculous trigger processes. They would not stand up, and leaving them in the situation they are in is a complete affront to our democracy and the members that elected them. And just to say about Afsana Begum, if you could see what it is that has happened to her, I know you've heard about it and you've explained it, but having to watch it over those past 2 years, you see this young woman and you see her standing strong, and they clearly want to break her. But if we, the left, cannot stand up for the first hijab-wearing woman in Parliament, then what are we? She represents so much, and she has stood up to the plate every single time, done everything that is expected of a socialist MP. So when the time comes, we cannot leave her hanging. We need to make sure, because she's standing up for it. She's not here for the fun of it. After what they've done to her, I'm just amazed that she's still standing. So when she needs us, I expect all of you to answer that call. Now, this is a message perhaps to some of my other colleagues who aren't usually here. And by that, I don't mean the other members of the SCG, they're all great. I mean my other colleagues. They seem to understand that we can't out-Tory the Tories. They're really, really good at it. They're really, really good at being right-wing shitbags. That's just it. The Labour Party is best on the principles that it was founded on, best on socialism, best on internationalism, best on anti-racism. Those are the things that we need to be pushing forward. And we're not going to win We're not going to win a general election if we ignore our base. We're not going to win a election if we allow the right-wing media and the Tories to tell us what to do and play divide and rule and play the working classes against each other. We have to fight all forms of racism. All forms of racism. So when our party tries to sound tough on immigration and make it seem like they're being reasonable in those terms, we have to make clear that we will not renege on our moral and legal duty to refugees. It's absolute disgrace, and that is not any sort of policy that should be in a Labour Party. And when, like in my constituency that happened recently, an unarmed black man is shot, we cannot allow people to be demonising young black men as if to justify why the police can brutalise them on our streets. We do not have to support the various emanations of the state more than we support people. And people keep saying that all of these things are about patriotism. We need to show patriotism because that's important. But I ask you, what is the most important thing in this country? Is it not the people of this country? Patriotism is not about flags, it's not about songs, it's not about supporting the police, it's about defending the people of this country. And if that's the case, the biggest patriots are right in this room. So we cannot be allowed to wind down, slowly trickle down into racism. We need to make sure people that implement the Ford report, and yes, they've put it up online, and yes, they've put an apology down, but I will not stop asking for a direct apology for Diane Abbott and Dawn Butler. It is disgraceful. It is disgraceful the way they have been treated. And it's actually Diane Abbott's birthday today, so if you're watching, Diane, happy birthday. To you. Happy birthday, dear Diane. Happy birthday to you. Woo. Now I want to end by telling you a little story of how I came to join the Labour Party. Yeah, everybody needs an apology, but I'll get to that. How I came to join the Labour Party was, there was a young black man standing in my constituency. He seemed kind of left-leaning, and I thought I'd go out and campaign for him. I'd always voted Labour, that's what we do in my house. But when I went out campaigning, I was paired up with some of the people from the Labour Party, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was absolutely right. What are these people like? And you know, coming off being a student activist, looking at what they'd done with tuition fees, looking at what Tony Blair had done with the Iraq War, I was firmly against joining this party. But then eventually, I got paired off with a woman whose name I really forget, but she reminded me that socialists make up the majority of our party. She reminded me that there are people like Jeremy Corbyn and Diane Abbott in their party, and if they could stomach what's going on, I could do. So I went home and I joined my local party, and 10 years later, I have that MP's job. And I tell you this because and obviously he went on a virgin. I tell you this because what a massive difference leadership makes. You need to understand that this 2019 intake, many of whom you've heard support, the difference in the socialist leadership meant that 50% of them are black or Asian. It meant that 60% of them are in the campaign group. It meant that 70% of them are women. And you know, some of the fantastic men we have, like Ian Byrne and Sam Tarry and Mick Whitley and Tahir Ali, they're all in the campaign group, and they're all kind of token when you look at our when you look at our uptake. But that is the difference that leadership makes, and they are 100% working class and rooted in their communities, and that's made a massive thing. And I'm proud to be able to stand with our Socialist Campaign Group every single day. But you need to understand that the only way that we know how to be MPs is the way that has got us a lot of abuse and threats. The only way I know how to be an MP is the way that Diane Abbott taught me. And that means that I'm going to be abused, I'm going to be under threat, I'm going to be watched by my colleagues, and everything we say is picked apart. And I say this because it doesn't matter to me, because we have a community to stand up for. And when the Tory government come with their reactionary bills, it's these people behind you that are leading the fight in Parliament, and that is so important. So I have to ask you those of you that have left the party, why have you left me? Why have you left us? Some of you have been kicked out, but the rest of you, why have you left us? I don't think you understand just how much that is exactly what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. They cannot kick out all of you. So the rest of you, they were hoping to make it as hostile as possible so that you leave. Do not take the bait. Do not allow them to do it. And anyone that has left, I absolutely tell you to rejoin, because you have to understand that it's more than us. It's about all of the people out there that do not have the privilege of being able to pay to join the Labour Party. They are going to suffer. They are going to suffer if we don't have a proper socialist Labour Party. And if we don't have all of you, every single one of you with us, that is not going to happen. Comrades, I have to, just as Apsana said, you don't know the power that you have. You do not know the power that you have. Do you think anybody would throw this much against you if they didn't know that you could win? Remember that in 2015, we had a socialist leadership because of all of you. And remember that in 2019, the current leader was elected by a socialist membership just because of you. You need to understand that the power that you have, and please, 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 comrades, stay with us. We have a mandate from you. And without that mandate, we cannot keep doing what we do. Thank you very much.